Good morning. This is Lisa Schmid with the Stamper Studio. And as you can probably see, we are not in the studio, but we are in Duluth, where it's just a warm 7 below with a 19 below expected forecast for tonight. Oh my goodness. We're just going to drive up the North Shore today, so it's not like we're going to get out and be frolicking. Anyway, Dave gave me a funny look. I wasn't sure why. But I am excited to be here with you today to show you some sweet berries. I'm going to show you this beautiful, I just love it. It's cheerful. It's wonderful particularly for winter, but for summer too. So this is the designer series paper called Berry Delightful. Excuse me, I just bumped the camera. Berry Delightful. And as you can see, it's got all the different beautiful, beautiful papers here with strawberries and these beautiful strawberries and flowers and blackberries and blueberries. It's just super fun. And raspberries. It's just a wonderful paper, and the backgrounds are equally as cute. So we are actually going to use this one today. We're going to use that piece. So I'm going to set this aside. All right. The other thing with this paper is this cute stamp set. So look at that. Isn't that so fun? I love that. That was so sweet of you. Hello there. The font is so cute. Happy birthday, sweet thing. You got to kind of read it like that. And it's a 2-step stamping. So we've got the flowers and the strawberries and the leaves. They're all 2 steps. So we'll show you what that means in just a moment. But the great thing about this is free. So with a $100 purchase, this punch and this stamp set, Berry Blessings, are free. So this one has the leaves, blueberries, blackberries or raspberries, and then it's got some really cute phrasing here, wishing you the very best. We're going to use that one today. You always have a way of making my day. So really, really fun. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to I'm going to move these things aside. We're actually going to stamp on this paper. I don't know if you ever thought about stamping on the designer series paper. And this mat, in case you wonder, it is Stampin' Up. It's not in the catalog, but you can get it online. So if you look for the paper piercing mat or mat online, you can get that. All right, we're going to stamp our berry. We're just going to use the outside. We're going to stamp our berry with garden green. I could use black, but I'm going to go ahead and use the green. Oh, must be frozen shot. Oh, it's the older one. Well, that's why I can't get it open. All right, and I'm looking at what shape my berries go in. I want them to be this way. And I'm going to stamp them really close to let me think here for a second. All right, we'll stamp them close to the edge. Yes, I think that'll work. So there's one berry. Oh, you know what? I want the seeds to go this way though. So I'm going to stamp them on this edge because I want the seeds to go, obviously, up and down. There we go. That's better. That's how I would like the seeds to be. I'm going to close this ink. And we'll go ahead and punch that out. I'm going to go ahead and trim this because I don't want to ruin or use more designer series paper than I need to. So I'm just going to trim that piece off and go ahead and punch it here. There we go. So line that up. I might have punched my second one too close. Let's go over to this one first, and I might be able to get them both. We'll see. So there's one strawberry. Yep, by doing it that way, I did get. See why I didn't want my whole designer series paper, because then I'm just kind of ruining the rest of it, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to use 2 berries. I feel like I'm reading Jamberry. 1 berry, 2 berry. Pick me a blueberry. And then we're going to go ahead and stamp. Instead of doing the 2-step, we're going to use the garden green paper, and I'm going to use this little top, this one, a little top piece. So adjust the outline again. Kind of a little quicker, kind of some little cheats actually, not really cheats, but quicker way to make a card. So let's go ahead and we're going to use, obviously, we'll need 2 of those. There's 1. And there's 2. And again, I'm going to close that up. And go ahead and get that out of there. Turn it this way. I'm going to go ahead and punch out lines right up on there. Probably could have done black. Might have shown up a little better, but I think it looks good. And we'll get that one. I'll show you in just a second. Let's get it lined up. There we go. Okay.
I notice you always use your punch upside down.
Oh, thanks, Dave. Yes, one tip is to always stamp first and then punch. And then by punching it upside down, obviously I can see where the things are going to go, where the stamped images are going to go. I am using Poppy Parade. So this paper is cut at 5.5. Yeah. All of a sudden it didn't seem right. It's cut at 4.25 by 7.25. 4.25 by 7.25. And I'm going to score it. I scored it at just 1.5. I think that is 1.5 or 2. I think it's 1.5. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to stamp on the, actually I'll build the top part first so you can see what I was doing with my strawberries.
Oh, Diane, -11. That's even colder than here in Duluth.
Oh my goodness. So I embossed this with the, yeah, there we go. I embossed this with the brick and mortar. And I want to tell you something that I did that's kind of tricky. What I did, I actually embossed it. See this, the bricks go this way. I embossed it the wrong way first. And I was like, oh no, I want it the other way. So I turned it this way. I embossed it and my bricks were crooked. Same piece of paper. And then I was like, oh yes, that's why Stampin' Up! Gives us this lovely line right here so I can line it up and get it straight. So I lined it up here, closed it, and ran it through again. So this has been through 3 times, and yet it's totally fine. So it has a little more texture than it might otherwise if I had just used the straight brick and mortar. But just so you know, you can run them through more than 1 time and they will still work just fine. So let's go ahead and stick this little piece right here. And that's what we're going to build our strawberries on. So I'm going to go ahead and put some dimensional on the back of that one. When I first saw this strawberry, I thought, how did they get the yellow? Because I'm thinking, well, is it bleach or what did the person use? And no, it's not. It's just the designer series paper, which actually is even easier than using, well, it's just easier, I guess, than stamping it and punching it. I'm going to see, I think I need just half of this. Stick that on there. Whoop. There we go. All right, and that's going to stick right on top my sweet little strawberry stem. What I'm trying to do is I really want that. I think I don't even need dimensionals is what's going on here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive on my little leaf. There we go, because it's sitting right on top. I don't even need a dimensional. That works better. And I'm going to go ahead and put some dimensionals on the second one. And there we go. And we'll just put it a little bit lower like that. And again, stick this on the strawberry cap. This is the part my chickens love. Oh, sad news. One of our chickens died this weekend or this week. I don't know. I think her sisters pecked on her, which is not very kind of the sisterhood, but all right. So then I'm going to use my base. And this designer series paper is the one I'm going to put on here. Okay, so let's go ahead and put adhesive on that. And just stick that. I love this little check. Isn't it so cute? The little red check is darling. I've used that. I did that in using it with darling donkeys, and that was sure fun too. All right, and then I'm going to stick this little piece. Is just going to overlap a little bit. Isn't that going to be fun with this underneath? In fact, before I put this on, I'm going to stamp my words at the bottom of here. And I am going to use the words from Berry Blessings. So I'm going to use this one, wishing you the very best. Remember, this is the free stamp set. Free, I love free. I love free. And I do really like the photopolymer. I think I like it because I can see through it, right? So let's go ahead and just put that on there. And I'm going to stamp that in Poppy Parade, of course, because my paper is poppy. So let's go ahead and stamp that. Remember, by stamping first, if it stamps crooked, if I don't like it, I can always flip it over. I at least have 2 shots at it. So let's see how I think this looks. If not, I can flip it over and do it a little bit higher. No, I think that looks great. So,
Is Berry Blessings the free set?
Berry Blessings is the free set with the punch. Berry Blessings and the punch. And then the sweet strawberry and the paper are what you purchase. So, again, this is just our normal 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. There we go. It's not 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It's 4 by 5 1/4. 4 by 5 1/4. Yeah, it's a little bit smaller. All right, I need to get rid of this mat. So this is actually like stone I'm working on, so a little bit different than our table at home. All right, so then we're just going to go ahead and stick this right on there. Look how cute that is. I think it is super fun. This was inspired by Susan Campfield. And the last thing we're going to do is add a little ribbon up here. And the ribbon is this Flowers for Every Season. It's like kind of like a thick linen. But the great thing is it comes in a set of 3. So 3 for the price of 1. I love it. Not really, but but these are the 3 you get. This I want to say it's kind of a just jade color. And then you get this twine, which has silver in it, and the blue, really pretty, and then the white here. So we're just going to use this piece. And I don't know if you notice, I never cut the piece first because then I'm going to waste more ribbon. I actually tie from the end and then trim it. So we're not going to pull that super tight because we want that nice little knot there. There we go. And now I can trim it. And we'll go ahead and stick that on. There we go. I just think that will look really sweet right there. I might trim that a little bit more. That looks good. And I didn't bring any glue dots, but I'm just going to use this adhesive, which this adhesive, if you roll it, you can make a little glue dot there with your finger and then stick it down. So that is something else with our adhesive there. There we go. All right. Isn't that just super sweet? Look at that. And then really, you only have to write a little bit right here. You could write the whole thing, but isn't that fun? Wishing you the very best. Now, the other thing, if we wanted to, we could throw on, if we wanted to bling it up just a little bit, we could, let me push this stuff out of our visual. We could add some of our red rhinestone basic jewels. And so let's go ahead because, you know, why would we not want to bling bling a little bit? We could put one there just to bling it up. I mean, why not, right? You get a lot of these in a package. There. Literally just took it up a tiny notch by adding those little bling blings, the little red rhinestones. What do you think? Isn't that so fun? Love it. So not a difficult card, and actually stamping this out of the paper, a little less stamping, a little less actual stamping, but I love it. So I have one more card to show you that's a little bit of a step up from this one. So let me set those aside and move all this off. Okay, so this card I'm going to make is this one right here. So it's definitely a little bit of a step up because we're actually going to stamp these. And I don't know, I'm kind of into this folding this back lately. I don't know why, but I just think it's kind of fun to fold it back, and then tuck something textured underneath it. So, and the little flowers are just sweet. So we're going to go ahead and make that one. just like when you get a card from me, I decided to package it in my little bag. I kind of want to get these out of your visual, so I'm going to move my ribbon here. All right, there we go. All right, so this card is the one, I think I stuck my, this one is 5.5. I think it's the same size as that other one, 5.5 by 7.5. Instead of folding it back like I did on my card, I thought we'll just cut it off. So I just cut that 1 inch. You just fold a regular full card, so 8.5 by 5.5, and then just cut off 1 inch. Once you score it, go ahead and cut off 1 inch, and that'll give you just this little edge here to tuck some fun paper underneath. I did go ahead and 3D emboss this, and this is super fun. These are the smaller ones. So this is the Meadow Moments. So you get 2 embossing folders. They're 3 inches wide. So that's what this one came from. You can see that texture there. And then this one, how fun is that? I'll stick this underneath so you can see. Stick some paper in there so you can see it. So this one has just the design on the side, some leaves. Could be holly or could be just regular leaves. It doesn't really, it's not exactly holly, but that's what it makes me think of. And then these little polka dots. So really fun. You could use it for fall or really any time. So I used this one in our Meadow Moments. Yeah, I think those are just, they're small and they're just kind of sweet. So I'm just going to stick this right on top here. And it's going to go edge to edge. And I'm going to leave a little border on the inside of it just for a little, or maybe I'll center it. I think I'll center it because I can line it up with the top. And then if it's too long, I could always trim it. All right, so there's that. Woo! And then I'm going to use the Designer Series paper, this fun green plaid, and just tuck it under here. Because that just makes it fun when you open it, you've got a little extra there. So let's go ahead and adhere that. All right, so we're going to stick that right here on the edge. And again, line up either top or bottom so that if it's too long or if it's too short, you have to center it. But you line up top and top, then I can trim off the bottom. I don't like it to be too short. I don't mind it being too long because I can trim it. So there we go. And then I'm going to stick my little white inside, which I'm not going to put any sentiment on, but I'm going to put that right there, mostly to get it out of my way so I don't get ink on it. It's a good time saver. Any good comments there, Dave, that I need to hear?
No, other than Linda and Jenny are also with us this morning.
Nice. All right, so there's kind of my base is what I would call it. Now I'm going to build the part that's going to go right here. So I am using my garden green, again, because that's one of the colors in it. And I don't know if you know this, and I refer to this frequently. On the back of the Designer Series paper, right here, it tells you what colors are in it. So sometimes I think, well, I think it's this, but I'm going to check. So Balmy Blue, Blackberry Bliss, it lists all the colors. So if I'm like, well, is it real red or is it poppy? I can look here and see. Really, really handy. I use that quite a bit to make sure that my colors coordinate. So we're going to layer it with this fun piece. Isn't that so great? We're going to layer it with this cute little strawberry print. The background is cute too, but that's what I said, stamp and punch. So we're going to layer our little strawberries right here, just because they're cute. They're so fun. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp and punch some strawberries. So here's a piece of paper for me to do that on. I'll pull this all out of the way, push this out of the way. This is what I'm using. I got too many things here. There we go. Really what it is my space is a little bit smaller. That's okay. So I'm going to stamp the strawberries on here, and I'm going to actually use both strawberries this time. So you can see the two-step stamping. So I'm going to use this strawberry, and I'm going to use the green. So we'll get some two-step stamping in here. And one thing I did, which I thought was kind of fun, is I actually used 2 different reds. We're also going to use the flower. So I'm going to take the little flower out while I'm here. All right, so I'll set that there. We are going to stamp using Poppy and Real Red. I kind of wondered, I was like, will the Real Red show up on top? I was curious about that. Something just fell. I'm not sure what, but we'll see. Oh, it was the stamp. I didn't stick the stamp all the way on and it fell off. Okay, Dave found it. These are tricky to find when they're clear. I'll tell you that. There we go. No, it'll stick. There we go. All right, so I'm going to stamp this in Poppy Parade, and I want to look at my punch again and see. Oh, right there. That's right. They go upside down. Okay, so I'm going to stamp those, 2 of those, and then I'm going to use Real Red. I just have this Stampin' Spot. They're great to travel with because they're small, but it's a darker red. And I thought, oh, I wonder if that will show up nicely instead of black. And you know what? It does. Look at that. I mean, it shows up, I think it shows up really nicely instead of black, which black would be fine too. So let's go ahead and punch those out. I'm going to go ahead and stamp, actually, before I punch those, I'm going to stamp my little greens. And we're going to just stamp those with Garden Green. Garden Green and Garden Green. So thank you. So we'll go ahead and stamp that there. And we'll stamp that there. And because I did not bring another green with me and I'm off my location, here's a little trick. I'm going to stamp my
I'm not running back to the studio for
you. No. So here's a trick. You can stamp it off and then stamp it on, and that'll make it just a little bit lighter to give you a little bit, so I can use the same ink pad for 2. There we go. That works great. All right, so let's go ahead and punch these out. I'm going to first punch. I guess I'm going to cut these. There we go. What were you going to say, Dave? All right. So let's go ahead and punch these and punch that one. There we go. Woo! There's lots of little pieces that go flying with this one, but it's worth it. And then go ahead and punch this other one. Remember, stamp first and then punch. Gives you some nice, so you can get it right where you want it to be. And then we'll go ahead and stamp this one, or punch this one rather. Yeah. There we go. And I could cut my strips smaller so I don't get all these extra little pieces, but that's okay. I don't mind. It's kind of like a party, making my own confetti. All right, let's get that one situated. There we go. All right, lots of pieces. So let's get rid of everything except for what I want. I want my 2 strawberries, and I want that. There we go. I'll clean that up after. All right, so here's, oops, I forgot to stamp my yellow. So let's go ahead and stamp our little flower. I like to stamp everything first and then go ahead and take care of making it. So we're going to stamp our little flower. And again, I have a little Stampin' Spot. I'm going to make 2 of them. This is Daffodil Delight. Just wanted to kind of show you this flower because I think it's sweet. It's just a sweet little flower. Ooh, that's a lot of ink. I'm going to restamp that. It's okay. So there's 1 flower. I'm going to restamp that second one. I don't care for it. I re-inked these. That's why it's a little strong. There we go. There's 1 flower. And let's go ahead and stamp. Just flip that over and lightly stamp. That's better. I don't know what that is. There's something. That's okay. Because I'm going to cover up that middle anyway. So I'm going to use this one. Pardon? I re-what?
Use your pad.
I'm like, speak up, sweetie. I can't hear you. I feel like we're talking with a mask on. Like, school kids are talking so quietly. I'm like, I can't hear you. All right. Now we're ready to build all our little pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and, of course, pop up our actually, I have one more thing I'm going to stamp first. Psych. One more thing. We are going to punch using our double circle punch. If you don't have this, double oval, this is like, in my opinion, kind of a must-have. It is awesome. So I'm going to stamp my words on white, and I'm going to put them right on top of that. So let me grab a little piece of white, make sure it's going to fit. Yep. And we'll go ahead and stamp. Let's see if I had a little bigger piece. We're going to go ahead and stamp, that's bigger, happy birthday in poppy. This poppy, again, is sort of our main color. And my happy birthday is coming from, my happy birthday is coming from, coming from Punch Party. So I'm going to use this happy birthday. And actually, I'm going to stamp the green. I'm going to go ahead and add that to my oval because then it gives it a little more texture. So let's go ahead and do that. I want this one, and I want my happy birthday. One. Sometimes they're hard to tell. Oh, it's in the middle. That's right. Once you use them, it does have a little bit of color on it. You can probably see that. And that's okay. It's not going to affect the stamp. It's not going to show up at all. So I'll go ahead and stamp this in garden green. Now I'm doing what I said don't do, right? But that's okay. I'm going to stamp this and see if we can get it kind of lined up there right on top of our oval that I already punched out. I'm pretty sure I can do it. Boom. There. Pretty sure I can do it. Up a little higher. There we go. So it has a little decoration on it. You probably can't see it, can you? Yes, you can. All right. I'm going to stamp it one more time because I missed the bottom. There we go. Now it looks perfect. Look at that. In case you don't know, Dave is like scoffing at me right now. I don't know if it's scoffing. He's shaking. Yeah, I think it's scoffing. He's shaking his head. So let's use that little happy birthday. And I need my mat because this is uneven also. So I wondered about that. I was going to reach for it, and then I thought, well, we'll try it. There we go. Much better. And then I'm going to punch that out of my oval. You can close my ink pads if you would so like to do that.
Love to.
I know you would. All right, so let's go ahead and center that little happy birthday. There we go. Now I am certainly ready to build this card. I've got all my little pieces. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and first, I'm going to go ahead and first put this on here. Okay, so that's this is definitely a take it up a notch card, right? It's not hard. It just takes a little bit of time. Now, remember, you only want to put adhesive on this side. I don't want it on the back side there. So I want it on this side, the left side. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put that on. I'm going to center that. And then I'm going to put on my little sentiment right here with my fancy stamped edge on it that Dave was shaking his head at. I'm going to go ahead and pop this up because everything deserves to be popped up. Gives it a little oomph, gives a little height, and makes it pop off the page. We'll center that right there. Look at how nicely the oval stamp, it really just centers. I mean, it really just, obviously, it's made to fit perfectly. And now we'll go ahead and stamp down or stick down our strawberries. So there's one strawberry. I'm going to tuck it right there. The other strawberry I am going to pop up, pop, up. There we go. This strawberry I'm going to kind of pop up there, overlapping this a little bit like that. And then we just have to stick on our tops, parts the chickens love. Strawberry tops. Caps, sorry. Strawberry caps. Stick that on. And stick one more. Over here. But I love punches. I like dies, of course, but punches are so quick and easy. I'm going to show you something to make your... Somebody made a comment, obviously, because Dave's laughing.
Diane, we did get plenty of sleep, although I will say the bed here is a little hard.
So here's a little trick you can do with your flowers. If you push either your take a pick tool in the middle, and I'm going to stick something there, or if you take a scorer, it kind of naturally makes the flowers shape the way you want them to shape. So I'm going to put a dimensional on that and stick that here just because it's fun. And the other one I'm going to stick just flat down. There you go. So I'm just going to tuck this one back here a little bit. I just love, strawberries are just fun. And of course, on here, we need to add this is where we're going to add our little red gems. So we're going to put them right in the middle of the flower, just to make it pop off that page. There we go. And I think I'm going to add one more just because I can, like on the strawberry. Isn't that fun? So definitely a little bit more than the first card, which I was going to find for you. Definitely more than the first card. Here it is. But equally as, push everything out of the way, equally as cute, right? So a little more work, but super, super cute. I want to show you a couple other cards made with the strawberries. So these strawberries, this was before I had the punch, so I actually cut these out of the designer series paper and the leaf, but I thought that was fun. Just a kind of the same, just a half piece of designer series paper. Remember, I always want to go at 4 inches because then I can get 3 columns out of my 12 by 12 paper. And then here's the same layout with a different card. Different fruit, yeah. You know what I mean. And then here's one more. This one's made by Julie Frakey, and she used the Ornate Floral 3D embossing folder. And that's kind of interesting. I don't usually think to use just the outline, but that's sweet. I like it. Oh, and she stamped her strawberry, or strawberry cap right on top. I wouldn't really think to do that either, but it's cute with the ladybug. So that's another little sweet. Sometimes I look to see if there's something fun inside. So those are my cards today, friends. I hope besides getting some entertainment, that you also maybe learned something and enjoyed making or enjoyed watching me make cards today. Don't forget that coming up, let's see, today's Saturday. So coming up on Monday, we have new in the studio. Can't wait to show you some hydrangeas. They are beautiful. So I'll show you those on Monday. Wonder Wednesdays on Wednesday. So if there's something you're wondering about, I know someone asked about a brayer, so ask about anything, any tool you want to use. And don't forget it's celebration. So that's when you can get, February is the last month. It used to go January, February, March, but now it's just January and February because there's one coming out later in the year. So that'll be fun. So it's just January and February. So make sure that you, if you want something out of that celebration catalog, that you purchase that. Remember to order at order.thestamperstudio.com. The last thing I want to tell you is don't forget to register for Take It Up a Notch. The cards are so, so cute, using quite curvy and fine art floral. And if you don't have those, you'll still be able to make them. So you sign up for that at register.thestamperstudio.com. I think that's all I have for you. Anything else, Dave? That is all. He's like, that's enough. All right, friends. Well, you have a warm and happy Saturday, and I will see you on Monday. Happy stamping.